Hey, it's Ryan from Radial Engineering here in sunny California at the 2017 NAMM show with the guys from Long McQuaid. Today we're going to show you the Key-Largo. The Key-Largo is a very powerful 4-channel keyboard mixer, USB interface, and live performance piece. What we have here, we're going to go from left to right and kind of look at what we have. We have 3 stereo analog inputs for up to 3 keyboards. Then we have a USB input that's going to come from our laptop. And then we have effect sends on the bottom, a global effects receive, a monitor level control out, and a main level control out. We're going to go through all that stuff again on the back here. On the back, we've got stereo input for channel 1, stereo input for channel 2, 3, our USB input. So if we have a controller that's controlling some sort of soft synth, or we're using main stage, something like that, we can actually run that audio through the Key-Largo rather than having to go to a separate DI box or something like that and have a separate mixer. So we can actually trigger our soft synths and go into here and have our USB level control on the Key-Largo. For our outputs, we have monitor outputs for stage monitors, and then we have balance outputs, transformer isolated for the front of house. We have an effects send and receive, so you can actually go with mono effects, so like guitars, so using a standard instrument cable, or you can use a TRS cable and go to stereo effects, so split the signal out to a left and right stereo effect. We also have the ability to add a stereo volume pedal. So here with the stereo volume pedal connection, we take the send out to our volume pedal and then return it back into here, and then that will affect everything. So you have the volume pedal control on channel 1, 2, and 3 on your analog inputs, as well as the USB signal coming in from the laptop, which is very cool. On the effects, now, why would you have effects on a mixer for keyboards? All the keyboards have effects. Well, that's not always true when we're talking about older vintage effects, or if you want to add your favorite studio rack effects and things like that. So we have effects send control, and then effects on and off. So basically on or bypass. So if you had a Rhodes keyboard or something like that and you want to throw a delay pedal or something like that on it, you could do that with the Key-Largo. So you have your effects send level on each one. So that's very cool as well. Once again, either stereo or mono effects. On our main outputs, we have ground lifts to get rid of hum and buzz caused by ground loops, pardon me. And then we also have a sustain switch. What the sustain switch does, it's an analog connection out. So on the Key-Largo, we have an analog connection that you can patch into one of your keyboards. Now, if you want to send that sustain information out of the MIDI ports and patch that into other keyboards so that everything's controlled by the one sustain switch, that's cool too. Now, you notice it clicks, but it is a momentary thing. So even though it does give you a tactile feedback, it is a momentary sustain pedal, just like any one that you would purchase for your keyboard. On the MIDI side, we have basically MIDI in and out, and where that's happening is that's happening between these connections here and the USB. So if you are playing back sounds from a sequencer or something through the USB connection, you can then trigger a rack mount synth or something like that, and then have that analog patched into the Key-Largo. So that's kind of the live performance ability of the Key-Largo. So very cool, powerful, compact, sits on the floor, it's got good weight, it's built like a tank, so it's not going to get kicked around everywhere underneath the boards. Very cool, a lot of control, so the artist can have control over their monitor levels for everything, as well as you have a control for the main outputs. Set that one, tape that one up so that the house is good. It also works as a 2x2 audio interface. This is very cool because if maybe you have a lot of keyboards, but you've always been recording at your buddy's house or something like that, and you don't have an audio interface, the USB connection will do up to 24-bit 192K, and you can multi-track record. So depending on how powerful your computer is, 64 tracks if you wanted to lay some really thick keyboard sounds with the Key-Largo. So very cool product. Shipping, I believe, by the end of March of this year. It's going to be a very cool product. There's a lot of support for it out there. There will be videos that you can get through Long McQuaid that will link to our website, how to use it, And if you have any questions, just get info@radialeng.com. Talk to the guys at Long McQuaid, and we'll always work together to help. Once again, Ryan at Radial Engineering at 2017 NAMM.